Good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this don't work without you guys. I am so freaking blessed. We have been through the hardest time in definitely my 54 years. Oh, wow. That's over half a century. Oh my God. In my 54 going on 55 years. And thank God that we have social media in some regards. Some regards you look at it and say it's the devil. But it's so blessed. I'm so blessed to have this, to be able to communicate with my daughter real easily across the country. It's almost like being there. To be here after just doing my live stream where you got hundreds of you great fans communicating, my friends and stuff, seeing people like, that I haven't seen in a while. I see Jackass is back in here. I haven't seen him in forever, it seems, and stuff. So many of you guys that have been following for so long and stuff that are now getting excited because the possibility of a season. Make no mistake, there's a lot of obstacles to face before we can have a season. We know that 9 teams have reported right now about the testing for rookies, and we've had 12 positive tests from 9 teams. Now, I guess one way you could look at it and say, well, that's 1 per team. That's 10%, or maybe a lot of them came from the same team. You don't know. We don't know, and probably won't know. I guess we will, who's not at practice. In fact, I'm hoping that some of the Cowboys reporters are camping out outside of the Star, keeping the social distance, but seeing what rookies actually show up and are actually working out, because that'll let you know if CeeDee Lamb doesn't show up, then it may mean that he tested positive for coronavirus. And it's not. I want to say this the right way. Not everybody that gets corona is going to have major effects. A lot of people will. I still believe in seeing some of the symptoms, believe that I may have had it from when I was in Miami at the Super Bowl, because I had the chest pains that literally felt like somebody was sitting on me. My blood pressure went through the roof. I had heart palpitation. I had a headache that felt like my brain was literally itching. I've never had a headache where my brain felt like it was itching. I had other symptoms and stuff, and some of these are symptoms that you're seeing, and they're still learning so many things. So I don't know. Maybe I've already had it and I'm already through it and I'm good. I don't know, because I haven't had the test to find out if I have the antibodies or not. But there's so many things that we're learning about this. And right now we're hearing that one of the guards, I can't think of his name right now, from the Kansas City Chiefs, is the first player to say, you know what, I'm opting out for the season. I'm good. And quite frankly, I can see why. You just won the Super Bowl. You can look at it and say, I've at least got this ring, and I don't know that football is worth me taking everybody on the field with me. And I can respect that 100%. I'm not going to be mad at anybody who ends up saying, you know what, there's things that may be more important than me playing football. With that being said, I hope that we have a season. The NFL is going to try and do everything they can because they want to have a season. And they're fighting against odds that it's going to be difficult to have this season happen. There's going to be people that are testing positive. There's going to be difficulties in travel. And when you look at where we are as a country right now, it's getting worse before it's getting better. But as they say, money talks and BS walks. The NFL and the NFLPA have come to an agreement that worst case scenario is the salary cap will not go down more than $23 million. That's the floor, which is good news for most teams, because as you start looking at the numbers for quarterbacks, not just Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott He's scheduled to be, if he's franchise tagged again, he's getting $37 million regardless. And it would behoove the Cowboys to actually get a long-term deal, because down the road there'll be more money because of the new television contract. But we're not talking about that right now. But a lot of teams now can breathe a little sigh of relief, because they know that they're not going to have to gut the roster. And now it's a matter of figuring out how you put on the season. Because I've got questions myself that I have yet to hear an answer for. Russell Wilson and Sierra just had their baby. 8 pounds, 1 ounce. Congratulations. But as Russell Wilson is supposed to be at training camp next week, do you go to training camp and come home to your family? Do you say, I'm going to take the season and we're just not going to be together? Or do you say, I'm just not going to play this year? I got a brand new child that I don't want to be away from. And we've got D-Law in that same position too right now. D-Law is like, I'm not sure I want to play with my significant other being pregnant. And there's other players out there that have several kids and their wife and everything else, and their family is everything. Yes, they play football, but I also have my family that's just important. So there's still a lot of questions that still have to be answered. And if somebody like Russell Wilson or D-Law don't play, what are the salary cap ramifications? Are we still being hit for that $21 million for D-Law? Or does he get paid and you have that money in the bank so you can use that towards bringing a Clowney or an Emerson Griffin or other guys? These are things that I want to hear answers to, because they're going to be significant to how you deal with the season. I'm just thankful that even if we don't have a season, at least we're getting closer and being able to talk about players actually on the field. Make no mistake about it. I want to get this season on. I want to see my quarterback out there. I'm sick and tired of hearing people talking and trashing my quarterback. I know that guy is good. I know we got players on this team that are good. And for once, I feel like we have a coach who can do something with them. I'm amazed that somebody actually said in the comments on my live stream that stop trashing Jason Garrett. It's the player's fault. During the Civil War, there was a general in the Union, George B. McClellan. George B. McClellan was loved by his troops. When it came to marching, those soldiers were dead on perfect. They looked good when they showed up for battle. But see, George B. McClellan was very conservative as far as how he fought. He never felt like he had enough soldiers. Even when he had the advantages, he was still cautious. The bloodiest single day in American history, the Battle of Antietam in Sharpsburg, Virginia. Leading up to that battle, Lee's plans were found wrapped around a handful of cigars. In this plan, Lee's forces were divided up in like 5 groups. They were sent out in different directions to forage, get supplies, because they invaded the North because the South had been the whole battlefield. Let's go someplace where it's pristine right now. Get some food, get some munitions and everything else. And his forces were divided up. McClellan had overwhelming forces. And he literally could have gone through and picked off every one of these groups, and the war would have been over. But instead, he waited and he kept telegraphing to Lincoln, I need more men, I need more men, I need more men. And because he was cautious, because he waited, Lee was able to get his forces back together, and it ended up being a draw. An 8-8, so to speak. Lee's forces headed back to Virginia, and technically, we had a victory. McClellan was a good leader of the men. But when it came to fighting, he wasn't the guy. And that's who I equate Jason Garrett with. The players always have loved Jason Garrett. It's not a matter, it's not that I hate Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett, I wouldn't mind hanging and talking football with. Go out and have a couple of beers and stuff. But when it comes to leading people into battle, much like Marty Schottenheimer, you can't tell me Marty Schottenheimer doesn't know how to build a team, doesn't know how to coach players. But for some reason, when it comes to crunch time and those big games, Norv Turner's another one, they just don't have that killer instinct and can get it together to take you over the hump. And as I look through with Jason Garrett's whole career, every time there's a defining moment, a chance to build your resume, to take over, to set yourself apart, we always fail. And it didn't matter who was there. We've had the team turn over, but yet every time, be it those 8-8 years where it's the Giants, the Redskins, and the Eagles, you win and get in. Those are defining moments. We win this game, we're into the next round. It fails. 2014, the catch, no catch, it's a fail. 2016 against Aaron Rodgers, it's a fail. It's been his legacy. And you have to understand, as a contractor, when I build something, if something's wrong, they don't go to the electrician and say, why is that screwed up? Or they don't go to the plumber and say, why is that screwed up? They come to me because it's my job. Because I'm the one in charge of everybody. And that's where I have Jason Garrett. Sorry. I'm going to put the blame on his shoulders. And we'll find out soon enough if he is the one that deserves the blame or not. So, I appreciate all you great fans out there, because you guys have helped me keep it together through this coronavirus. But right now, I'm going to go take me a shower, and I'm going to go to bed with my wonderful wife. And I will see you guys in the morning. Be safe out there.